Ah, there we are. Greetings from the eerie coast. This is Mad Shad. And this is another episode of the Zoot Report, Sunroof Edition. Let's go. Deploy knife hands. So yesterday, I dropped like 2 videos. One was an old one from last week, talking about how I want to go to the woods. But of course, the latter was was yesterday. Straight black pill, straight doom and gloom and. We all get like this. It happens. Little black pill. Little black pill never hurt nobody. You know, we have become oblivious to everything around us. Either by choice or by, natural. Just naturally, just don't want to know it. No. Cover your ears. Kind of hear no evil, speak no evil, say no evil, or see no evil. Well, I mean, it's everywhere. But I want to give you some hope, I guess. There is hope. There's always hope. Right? There's hope. Faith in your fellow Americans. Now, what I described yesterday, that's true. That's what they want. That's what's happening. That's the bottom line, right? Is that we all be a part of this brave new world that the elite occultists are making, and they get to do what they want. They get to murder and do atrocities however they see fit, and we are absolutely totally controlled, right? That's their utopian. So what they believe is that will bring about the Messiah, that will bring about the, it's going to bring somebody out of the depths of, the well or massive chariot in the sky of fire, whatever, and that we will all those left, everyone that's done everything that they're supposed to do, i.e. destroying mankind, will get to live forever and whatever. I don't know. It's occultism, man. I don't know. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? Their perfect world is a world of fire and brimstone, and they get to survive it somehow by becoming immune to it. I don't know how that works. Well, whatever, that's fine. The Bible has that whole thing too, the Revelations, the 7 seals being broken, atrocities unleashed upon the world, upon mankind. I think I want to see the man-sized locust, though. Armored man-sized locust flying through the air. That would be pretty wild, but whatever. The point is, these are people that are trying to destroy the world, and they're absolutely delusional. Just absolutely delusional. They absolutely believe they're nonsense. They have for thousands of years. Yet it gives them power, I guess. There's that. It's a way of wielding power behind the scenes. For me, it's just a corrupting little parasite. That's all it is for me. It needs to be eradicated. But they know that because we've done this many times before. And we've eradicated them. A little pest control, if you will. Medieval style. And there are many cases where, you know, the people of a nation took matters in their own hands and, you know, tried to steer their country into what they wanted it to be. I mean, look at France. They've done it like 3 or 4 times. Yeah. We've done it, what, once, twice? Let's say twice. Yeah. On a major scale, right? So on a major scale. I mean, there's many other cases. The coal mine wars, the war at was it Apollo, Tennessee? I mean, so yeah. I mean, there was little bitty skirmishes here and there that said, "Hey, fuck your authority. We are the authority," you know. And every ruler, every leader, every, you know, czar, king has to worry about a rebellion. That's what they do. And they're like, oh well, you know, we push them too far. We tax them too much. Our heads are going to be on a steak. Because we ate steak and they ate gruel. There is no benevolent ruler. Really there's not. They ultimately become, you know, corrupt. They ultimately do. I mean, yeah, there's cases where, you know, a ruler, a leader of a nation saved their people. I can think of Vlad, the Voivod, in Wallachia. But look at the atrocities he had to do to get it. Man. But there's hope. There's always hope. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's no hope in the system. Very, very little hope in the system. Because they own the system. They own the means of the way that we express our redress our grievances. And they know full well that give it time, we'll forget about it. I mean, it's just the way it is. We have a short memory. We the people. We the governed, if you want to call us governed, because we are governed. So I don't know. I mean, there is hope. There's, you know, some positivity that can be applied here. You know, for one, their plan is going to take a very, very long time to do. So that means that we have a stay of execution, if you will. Which gives us time to prepare. Gives us time to get our shit together. Maybe even turn the tides before the tide even comes. But we're all so preoccupied. I don't know. But we are an industrialist lot, so I don't know. Maybe that's something. Regardless, is if we make it, make it pat through the storm. Long storm. It's a very long storm. It's by design to do that because we forget, and the new generation can be corrupted. The new generation can be preoccupied, distracted, forgotten the faces of their fathers, etc., etc. Eventually, they can gain control. I mean, they're trying to build a legacy. Theirs is a legacy of blood. Theirs is a well, I'd say their legacy is a legacy of destruction. Ours is a legacy of blood, because it's our children that will inherit this fight. That's the hope. The hope is that either it comes in our time when we can deal with it. Everybody knows Gen X can deal with it. Yeah, absolutely. And yes, the youngins can be on board too. Lost my train of thought. But our hope is that it'll come in our time, so we can deal with it. And that we can give a better world to our children. Which, let me tell you, the world is the world. It does what it wants, really. Even with this whole EO, elite occultist, parasitical entity that's trying to take over the world. The world does what it wants to do. It's kind of hard to prepare for an earthquake or tsunami or massive hurricane, meteor shower that strikes, asteroids, sun just belching, and so I mean there's things beyond our control that can change the course of history. And that's what these people are trying to do. They're trying to change the course of history. We're trying to make it better, right? And we think that the way to make it better is through the system. You're gonna fuck your system. Fuck the system. That's right. Exploded, baby. Punk's not dead. Fuck the system. You can't fight the system if the system don't care. Then fuck the system. Start your own. Go against the grain. Be outside of the system. So, if they build their 15-minute cities, start doing this tyrannical lockdown on everybody, then we just move out of the cities and create our own empire. Hope that doesn't get fucking corrupt, which is their nature, by the way. Every revolution has a little parasite in it just waiting to take back control. It's always the case. Skull, by the way. Drinking my Cafe Bustelo with my cocoa flavonoids. Oh man. And a little shot of honey in there. Kill the bitterness. We can build our own empire. We can build our own things. We can shape our own future. We don't need to rely on them, the EOs, to, change the course of history. We can do it ourselves. I mean, it's very romantic to think that, oh yeah, it's going to be a fight. Yeah, it's going to be a fight, but it's a different kind of fight. It's a fight of ideology. It's a fight of resources. It's a different kind of fight. It really is. They have lies and suggestions. That is their weapon. And if you haven't noticed, it's pretty effective. We have, our weapon is honor, integrity, righteous indignation, I guess you could say. The will to survive, the will to fight, the will to defy. There's a formula to break that, They do. They work that formula to break our will to fight. Which can either make us more dangerous or make us, turn us into slaves like they want. It's hard to say. There's always one in the group, right? There's always one in the group that just says, that's it, I don't care what happens. Going out fighting. That's it. Call me Billy the Kid. Let's go. Call me Geronimo. And it might inspire, it might not. It's, I don't know. I mean, we had 1776, and then we had 1812, and we had a lot of things. For 250 years, we've been fighting. We know how to fight. We know how to rally the troops, rally the population. We know how to do that. We have a history of defiance. Them trying to break that, I don't see how they can break that. The only thing they can do is try to, implore some type of sneak attack on us while we're absolutely preoccupied, distracted. Sneak things in, implement things that we didn't see coming. Right? What's the story? You got to you vote your way into communism, but you have to shoot your way out of it. Yeah. All right. Same thing. I mean, really. But we have the golden opportunity to have our own great reset. and to force out all the corrupt government officials, all the foreign state actors that are influencing our government and our businesses. That would be a golden opportunity for us to do that. And everybody believes that at the last minute we're going to get on board. Because to tell you the truth, that's kind of how we roll, really. You know, it's yeah, we train, and I have to say that, you know, this 250 years we have trained for this day. There's more gun owners than we have 20 million, I don't know, 50 million, who knows? It's a lot. 100 million. I mean, there's 10 guns for every person that they know of, that they can guess. Not to mention any other type of cool gadgets and gizmos that we can come up with. You know, Pandora's box is open. We're pretty damn smart. I can venture to guess that, you know, we can come up with some innovations that the art of war have never seen. You know. It can seem like it's overwhelming. It is overwhelming. It's meant to be overwhelming. The prospect of war, the prospect of being conquered, you know, it's like, wow, you know, are you saying that my way of life is going to change? Yes, and it has to. It has to change. When we have this conflict, if there is a conflict, I think it'd be more along the lines of small little conflicts, you know. Then we would, oh shit, what's going on here? I can't get over y'all. You're not going to be living in your house that you bought. You might. I mean, fighting the hordes in your yard. Nobody cares about your house. You're the only one that cares about your house. The Army sees it as cover, a target, or a loot drop. That's what they see it as. On both sides, by the way. There will be an immense shift in the paradigm. You won't be able to go to work because, well, your work won't be there. Everybody will be either fighting or a refugee. You know what I'm saying? So if there is a way, because it is a slow war, this is a slow burn, right? That we can negate that and still keep our worldly possessions. I guess, yeah. But it's got to be everybody involved, right? And everybody's got their own little idea of involvement. some people want to get out there and, LARP on the two-way range. Okay, cool, right? We're going to need that. We're going to need able-bodied people, men and women, to field an army, if you will. But there's others who be like, I can't fight. No. I'll give you some water. Give you some food. Bring your uniforms, and I'll sew them up and fix them for you. Intel is going to be the biggest thing. So, spies, any kind of intelligence gathering, signet, right? ATAC, all that shit is going to be really important. Communications. Just getting out there on the battlefield and running around. That's the least important. It is. That's the least. Logistics is the most important. Command and signal is the most important. How do you communicate? Who are you communicating with? To conduct disruptions, to gather intel. Are you taking orders from someone, or is it like broken down? You have this decentralized command. That'd probably be the way it is. Small little groups working independently with a commander's intent. Let's get these rats out of here. Okay. And you got to worry about information and misinformation on both sides, right? They're conducting their operations too. They have surveillance. They have counter surveillance. They're planting false information. We are too. But their war, their weapons are not bullets per se. That's the crisis part of it. When people start dying, people start shooting each other. And that's chaos. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people don't have that experience. We've talked about fight or flight or freeze. A lot of people are like, nope, I don't want any part of that. I'll help in other ways. Okay, all right, that's fair enough. I get it. I mean, I don't want some kid in the foxhole with me that's, doesn't want to fight. He's probably going to run. But I do see hope. I do see hope in my fellow Americans that we will push through this, that more and more people will recognize what's going on, and they are, oddly enough. The wool is the veil is being lifted. The war on flock, the deflocking of our cities. by kinetic means, that's pretty badass. And that's mostly young people taking that on. Yeah, that's, I mean, sure, you might see some older people out there. I mean, they got the know-how. Yeah, Sawzalls and Diablo blades and things like that. Yeah. Or, uh-oh, I just ran over something. Sorry, I ran off the road. The hell is this thing being? You know, what's stuck under my fuselage? What the hell is this thing? So, there is hope, right? We could figure this shit out. It seems insurmountable, doesn't it? And that's by design. They want to instill that no hope. There is no hope. They want that feeling, that hopelessness. And that crushes your will to fight. But I think they underestimate our ability to act in defiance. You know, they look at it as like, well, the answer is more rituals and, you know, they apply the scientific formula. But, you know, they forget good old-fashioned redneck ingenuity. I mean, you know, so seen a lot of that in the wars that we fought. Can't get this tank to fire. The barrel's crooked. You know, like, well, all right, I need some bubble gum. I need some duct tape, and I need a beer. What's the beer for? That's for me. MacGyverisms. Improvise, adapt, change, and overcome. I mean, it's the name of the game, right? And we do. We figure that shit out. But we gotta have this thing they call solidarity. We gotta be able to be galvanized enough to organize. We're so divided, even within the groups, you know, of the patriot groups or whatever. We're so divided. And what they're willing to do varies. Some just want a armchair quarterback, you know. Some want to provide logistical support, which is cool. I dig that. And some want to fight. And some want to fight in different ways. So we'll figure it out. It happens. On the fly, if not, you know, organized. It's hard to say sometimes. But I do have hope. There's always hope. I mean, there's rifle ranges everywhere. There's more and more people are getting more prepared. You know, there more and more people are getting this prepping deal. I talk to youngins, youngins. I call them youngins now. I talk to these young people at work, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm a prepper." What? What's that? And, you know, what are you prepping? Oh man, I got canned goods. I got some medical supplies. You know, I got a bunch of spaghetti, and you know, it's like, you got bullets? Yeah, I'm working on that. Yeah, because I do a lot of shooting. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so you're shooting, you're training. You know, and I'm trying to get my finances in order. I mean, that's what everybody's doing, right? You know, trying to get their finances in order. And that's good, right? You know, you don't want to be in debt. I don't know. I believe that at some point in time, you know, it's going to be a financial shit show. It already is, really. So yeah, we have a problem. But we also have a solution. And we're really good at solving things. We, the people, are more powerful in our computational processes and probability matrices than any AI. We have the brightest minds. I mean, we came up with AI. Right? So, yeah, AI is probably it's the super weapon. It's the new super weapon of the millennium. It has the ability to create Skynet. But there won't be Terminators per se. I guess there will be. But it'll be more simple than that. You know, shut off water here, shut off power there. Shit like that. I mean, they have connections to everyone's minds already. They talk about the Neuralink. They already have the Neuralink. It's called social media. They shape and warp minds on a daily basis. Even me and you. So anyway, there is hope. We have a problem. We have a solution. It's just, are we willing to do it? You know, Occam's razor, right? The most obvious explanation is usually the right one. In a problem, keep it simple, stupid. Usually the simplest thing is the answer. It's also the hardest thing to do. We like our system. We like what we built. And it's been hijacked and corrupted. Yet we still want it to work. And that's the problem. The solution is to create something new. To maintain this constitutional republic, we have to change things from time to time. They've been changing things. We need to change things. It's simple, but extremely hard at the same time. There's a simple solution for just about anything, right? Old cowboy logic. But are we willing to get everybody on board as one collective? We the people. And they know that the best way to disrupt that is to, have us divided. which they're really good at doing, if you haven't noticed. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just sitting here at work. Thank you all for hanging out with me with this Zoot report. And yeah, it's Friday. Wow, it's Friday, y'all. Finally Friday. Yep. Of course, you know, Lackluster Fridays will commence tonight. And see how that goes. Gotta survive this day first. But we're almost there, folks. We're almost there. So thank you all for hanging out with me and listening to me rant and rave. Yeah, be advised, my channel is just the rantings and ravings of a madman. The perfect advisor. Yeah, right. Anyway, thank you. This has been Matt Chad. Let's go. And deploy knife heads.